Welcome to Shul.com. We are learning the Chafetz Chaim daily study, and he is still discussing the different asehs and lo ta'asehs that a person might be oved if he speaks Lashon Hara. We are up to number 16 on page 39. Do not bring guilt, tachanifu, upon the land. It's brought in Bamidbar 35-33. The word tachanifu also means flatter. The Rishonim learn from here that it is forbidden by Torah law to flatter the wicked, or we should say even false flattery. If a person speaks Lashon Hara or Rechilut in order to impress someone who hates the subject, he violates this prohibition. When a person hears Lashon Hara and nods in agreement or adds words of encouragement to impress the speaker, he also transgresses this prohibition. Upon hearing Lashon Hara, one must be extremely careful not to make any sign of consent. If his rebuke might be accepted, he must rebuke the speaker for telling Lashon Hara. So one of the ways of not accepting the Lashon Hara is by not nodding your head like this. Don't make any signs. Don't make any comments. Don't throw any fuel into the fire, throw extra logs into the guy's furnace of speaking Lashon Hara. And just stay there. Don't say anything. By not saying anything, you still are in the neutral state of being able to reject it. 17. Do not curse the deaf. Vayikra 19-14. When angrily speaking Lashon Hara, it is very common to curse the subject using Hashem's name. Like some people say, God, D-A-M-N, it, and that's cursing a person. We know from Abraham Avinu, those who bless Abraham will be blessed, and those who curse him will be cursed. If one does so, he violates this prohibition, even if he uses Hashem's name in a foreign language. He uses it as God. He doesn't say Hashem or Havaya or Aleph Dal Nun Yud or Kel. This prohibition applies whether or not the subject is deaf and whether or not he is present, which means cursing somebody whether or not he's there is not relevant. It cannot and should not be done. So far today, we have now ended the 17 different lo ta'asehs, the prohibitions that can be violated by speaking Lashon Hara. Some are punishable with death by heavenly court. And for others, one loses his portion in the world to come. Another tremendous risk. This mavit is losing olam haba. Olam haba is not the same as Gan Eden. Gan Eden is one thing, olam haba is another. And it is important to note that if one tells a Gentile Lashon Hara about a Jew, let's say one tells someone who's not Jew about it, his sin is much worse. Speaking Lashon Hara amongst Jewish people is one thing. Speaking Lashon Hara to a Gentile, a non-Jew, about a Jew is significantly much worse. That's even different than what we're talking about of a Mossad, of where he's giving over information that could lead to a loss of money and of quality of life, or putting somebody behind bars. Here, it's just saying any of the Lashon Hara things to a goy is much, much worse. Up until now, we're only talking about when it's discussing Jews amongst Jews. So with that, we ended the 17 lo ta'asehs, and tomorrow we're going to start to begin the 14 positive commandments involved in Lashon Hara. Baruch Adonai Le'olam, Amen ve'amen.